Now, I'd spent ages thinking about how to describe this mod pack. You know, is it vanilla game plus plus plus? Is it rogue tech minus something? And the more I thought about it, the more it dawned on me. So this mod pack is basically Flashpoint, right? I mean, it's what it. If you know, didn't have access to level designers and modeling artists to, you know, put extra biomes and extra models into the game, and you were just given the tools that, you know, the base game came with, then this is Flashpoint. And what I mean by that is, so the CCC mod pack very closely follows the base game design intent, which is, you know, lore strict, non-evasive meta playthrough, playstyle, I suppose, with energy weapons, having very, very high chances to hit. But you see, it's got the same intro as RogueTech, because it's using a lot of the same mods. Anyway, we'll skip the intro because I think we've all seen it 100 times before. Yes, there's very high chances to hit, so there's no evasion meta. It's following the playbook of the base game very strongly, but with lots of the enhancements that you would expect to be coming in Flashpoint that most people are familiar with because of RogueTech. Now, the settings for this, I have the hard pack installed. I'm not quite sure what that does. Otherwise, the settings have just been left as the default settings because I'm not. So the economic game is more or less the same as Nightmare modes if you crank the settings up, and I'm not ready for another 100 episode campaign. I want to show you guys as much of the game as I can in a sort of more reasonable time frame. I have so much to say about this game, this mod pack, that I just I'm falling over my words to say it all. But we'll get into that anyway. It will become more apparent once we do a mission or two why I'm calling this the Flashpoint mod, if you will. Okay, so we have a sandbox mode, just like is going to be added in Flashpoint, and that, you know, mods like RogueTech have had for a long time. And if you look at the star map, of course, it is the WarTech star map. And you're going to find that basically the CCC mod is a very, very deliberately tweaked mod pack to create a base game plus plus experience. So if you liked the style of the base game, but you wanted many of the fixes and enhancements that came with RogueTech,
I've got to hand it to Dr. Murad.
Then this is basically the mod for you. Now, it has obviously a few nice extra things like randomly generated mechs. I'm not sure what we got. Oh dear. Oh my god, it's like... it's wall-to-wall mechs I despise. There's a Vindicator, a Locust, a Commando, and an Urban Mech. Oh, okay. Alright. I'll live. Well, that's nasty. Hey, it's random. So, if we go to the contracts now, you will obviously see deployments like you're going to find in Flashpoint. There will be deployments in Flashpoint. There are deployments in this. The same bugs, or not really bugs, but limitations, as in like you have to load up the contracts twice to actually get them all to generate, for example. And you have to skip a day for all the mods to load correctly. You do get a message saying that the mods have loaded correctly after your first day, which just stops the timer, which is very helpful actually. I mean, if that bug is going to be there, at least you can put in a little something to notify the player that all the mods have loaded correctly and everything is working just fine. So this mod pack is not using the abilities beta.
Commander.
Yes.
So it's all the standard abilities, which I personally prefer the standard abilities actually, if I'm going to be brutally honest about it. And because it's based on the base game, it's not an evasion meta. It's either evasion or bulwark. But obviously bulwark has been moved, being the powerful ability that it is in this mod pack and in the original base game. Bulwark has been moved to position number 8 on the skill tree,
Training complete.
and you have to swallow Juggernaut for it, which is not pleasant.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Awaiting orders. Ready for orders.
Orders.
Okay, so we've got 3 randomly generated mech warriors here, none of which are very good. You've got the enhanced traits system as well, which is nice. So it's just loads and loads of careful, cautious little tweaks here and there, but it is very much a base game experience. Okay, it seems like the only easy contract that I got is a deployment. And I am definitely not ready for a 2-month deployment. Save the prototype. Trap sprung. Alright. My RNGesus is not really my friend today. We're gonna have to immediately switch planets. So I've got a bum hand of mechs, and I also got a bum hand of contracts. But you know, you can always re-roll. I will accept this because, hey, that's life. Unfortunately, getting off the first planet is actually quite a long journey, so this is going to hit us right in the pocket. Like the base game, the best way to make money is to salvage mechs and then sell them. There are no fusion cores or anything like that in this. Although I do like the fusion core system. You know, once again, I'm calling this like, this is the Flashpoint mod, if you will, because Flashpoint is not going to have those things either. This is very much base game plus plus plus.
Looks like we've arrived, Commander.
Okay. Let's once again have a look at the contracts and see what we got. Hopefully something a little bit more forgiving. I'm not ready to run into 2 1.5 skull missions, both of which are actually quite nasty. There we go. There's at least one skull mission there. There we go, okay. I can work this. I can work with this. Ambush, convoy, destroy base, assassinate. We might not get away with the assassinate, but still. So yeah, if you look at things like the store, everything's for sale, which is nice. So you can see, look, there's an atlas for sale. Not that I can afford it. And you'll just see things like, you know, arm mods, leg mods are more readily available. But otherwise, apart from a few carefully selected items like half-load machine gun bins, it's more or less the same gear as the base game. Although various items of lost tech and other very strict to the timeline technologies are available that aren't in the base game. Like, for example, the Marauder. There is a piece of it here. So the Marauder, the Phoenix Hawk, and various other mechs are available for purchase. Anyway, that's quite enough ranting on about the mod pack. Let's just get stuck into it. Not that I am a huge fan of ambush convoys, but it's the only half a skull mission there is, so you're going to have to live with it. And I managed to pick up an AC-20 Irby of all things. I'm putting my evasive pilot in the urban mech because it will generate an extra evasion token despite the fact that it moves at 3 miles an hour. Now, interestingly, in Rogue Tech, the best way to not take damage, if you're going to get shot at, the best way to not take damage is to gain as many evasion tokens as you can and point your front towards the enemy. And that's it. That's the strategy. Because this is based on the base game, there is evasion stripping, but evasion stripping doesn't always happen. It seems to be about 50-50. So they basically halved evasion stripping, which I think is quite a fine balance. But evasion stripping is still possible, just more difficult. And then there's Bulwark. You don't get an accuracy bonus for shooting at the sides, only at the rear. So what that means is that angling and stationary plays are actually part of the playbook. The best strategy is not always, for mitigating damage, the best strategy is not always, strictly speaking, as many evasion tokens as you can front towards enemy. The playbook now expands to actually shield arming is way more effective, bulwarking is effective and can be utilized, and so on and so forth. So
well, this is a hellhole.
That I like very much so. Although it took quite a bit of adjustment for me to get used to that, since I've been playing so much Rogue Tech for so long.
Yes, Commander.
Where are they
Well,
back
well,
into?
what do we have here?
There's the escorts, there's the convoy. They're going over there, okay. They go that way, or are they going to go around?
Heading out.
Location confirmed.
Alright. And the evasion is very powerful in this, but weapons are way more accurate. Just like the base game. So if you think that you're just going to be able to run around all the time and avoid being hit, that's not going to happen. I tried to do that and I lost a mech when I played on the charity stream. I wasn't really 100% paying attention to that change, and I paid the price for it.
Holding for tactical advantage.
I was like, 4 evasion tokens, front towards enemy. I might take 1 or 2 shots at best, and then every shot hit me. And I was like, oh, that's different. But of course, that's what would have happened in the base game as well. By the way, the enemy is capable of reserving in your turn. That mod is in the game. Panic is in the game.
Minimal damage. Minimal.
I have much to learn about this mod as well, so okay. It looks like it's all tanks. The escort is tanks. The convoy is tanks.
Yes, Commander.
I get the feeling I should not have gone full salvage on this one. But you don't start with any equipment, so any gear is useful. 60, 41. Start with this guy.
Firing.
Nice.
How might I help?
We see here the coloured lines are in as well. Slightly different colours from BattleTech. So these are all front shots, since they're red. If you see here, if I can get a side shot on this guy, it will change colour. But I can't. Not easily anyway.
Of course.
Okay, I guess we just finished this guy. Alright, one of the enemy units is a striker that hasn't moved. Well, since he's going to make himself so ridiculously vulnerable.
Primary target damage. Concentrate your fire and bring it down.
Alright, the Irby. Too slow to make it to its own funeral.
Got it.
Okay. Never mind. This guy's actually out of range for a He is actually out of range for the medium lasers. I thought I'd be able to fire both, but I can't.
Engaging target.
Okay. So you can see here that the colors are changing depending on the whether the sight lines are blocked or not. It actually doesn't appear to have the mod that shows you different colors for a side shot. Just for broken angles and indirect.
Heading out.
So maybe he can make that change in a future version. The update process for this mod pack is much slower than BattleTech's, so while it is being worked on all the time, BattleTech is being worked on by like 30 people every day. I think there are actually more versions than days it's been out. No bad thing. I mean, it's nice to have constant updating and support. Just sort of saying that you can't really expect that from every mod pack.
Orders.
Okay, this Irby is still not going to have a shot for a long time.
Affirmative.
Yes, Commander.
Now, hopefully I can get into position to take both of these guys out.
Confirmed.
Since it's all vehicles, I'm just charging at them because, you know, the best weapon
Confirmed.
on against a vehicle is to just stand on it. I've got to close the distance quite a bit before I can do that. Alright. See if I can finish this guy.
Engaging multiple
Nice. And this one? Nice. Perfect.
enemy unit destroyed.
Nice little start there against the vehicles. It's funny because obviously you're playing the base game, so
Armor blow through. Internal damage.
things like medium lasers, LRM5s and all that stuff, that's actually good kit. And you don't start with any of it. So you can't really make any mech lab adjustments until you actually get deep into at least 2 or 3 missions and actually have those items on standby to use.
Barely hit, Commander.
A little bit surprised that there's no no battle mech escort for this convoy. Got a shot. Huh, he's got a shot. Not a great shot, but he's got a shot. I'm really never been a fan of the AC-20.
Engaging.
And that's why.
That didn't hit.
It's just so 50-50. It hits, they die. It doesn't hit, you do nothing.
Standing by.
I prefer consistent damage than random damage.
Moving out.
Alright, let's get stuck in.
Targeting for an elf strike.
Chances to hit are high, but obviously they're not 100%, so we will be missing quite a lot early on.
Awaiting orders.
However, we are finally close enough to start getting these guys squished. Now, the advanced melee mod is in this as well, so even if you're stood next to an enemy, you can change your positioning and select attacks from any angle. Just a nice little thing to make a note of. Boom.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
The advanced AI mod is in as well, so the AI does love to go for rear armor when it has the opportunity. Yeah, hit pretty much anywhere will kill this guy, as long as it's not the front.
Engaging physical attack.
And I hit the front from the back. I don't know how that's possible. That happens in BattleTech as well. I literally attacked from the rear arc and I somehow managed to hit the front. The turret fix is in as well. There were certain vehicles in the base game that didn't have turrets, and if you hit the turret section you didn't do any damage. Your shots just disappeared into a void. That's been fixed in this mod pack.
Good to go.
Now, in terms of objectives, I'm not really sure what the objective is going to be for this campaign just yet, because it is effectively a very enhanced version of the base game. And so the thing about that is, I've already finished the base game, like, not 100 times, not being facetious, but I have finished the base game a lot.
My way.
And so,
Let's do this.
at least for me, there's not going to be a huge amount of challenge to playing even a highly modified version of the base game.
Standing by.
Doesn't mean that this won't be difficult in its own way, just that you know, the economic game would have definitely been very hard, just like on Nightmare mode. But what that really does is slow the campaign down a lot, and I just didn't want to slow it down too much. I just wanted this to be a short campaign, just to show this mod pack off. 75, because he's in cover. At least it hit though. That's always nice.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, 80%. Let's try standing on this
I
guy.
understand.
Pop. Just keep standing on them till they're dead.
One for the scrap heap.
Wow, he is legging it. He's really legging it. That's the last member of the actual convoy. Well, I suppose if he comes back, we'll just deal with him then.
All weapons get to land, the LZ commander. I'm coming in hot. Enemy unit destroyed.
Easy. Where are they going?
Ready for orders.
Come back.
Move order received.
Now this is because it's like the base game, of course. Overheating does damage to your structure,
Acknowledged.
so I generally try and avoid it. Armor repairs are free,
Good to go.
but there are deployment costs, and there are also deployment limits, which they're not in BattleTech.
Acknowledge.
That's one thing that's definitely completely different. There are actual tonnage limits depending on the skull rating of the mission. So you will want to keep some lighter mechs around for going into easier missions, as is required. I think the limit for a half a skull mission is like 180 tons or something like that. Nice. Oh, he survived.
Reporting. Have no doubt it will be done.
The precision strike has been changed slightly as well, although not really so much for vehicles. It does improve accuracy, but your chances of hitting particular regions are much lower. Just careful balance tweaks here and there.
Need something, Chief?
Yep, just get stuck in, please.
Roger.
Alright, this guy's nearly done.
Affirmative.
Nice. You can see that the resolve system has been implemented.
Yeah.
Even though we're not using the new abilities, we are still using the resolve system.
Lifting off.
Go RB, go!
Affirmative.
Miss.
Targeting systems janky.
Ah well, Blackjack will do it. It loves to run hot though.
Engaging target.
Oh, Blackjack won't do it.
Yes, Commander. Move order received.
There I am going on about how the hit chances are so much higher. And I'm missing every shot.
Yes, Commander.
There we go.
Reporting enemy.
There have been a few little weapon balance changes as well.
Mission 6.
Heat has been brought down on PPCs, I believe. Just to make them a little bit more viable. Okay, so I actually lost a little bit of money on the deployment, of course, because I took a lot of weight into a half a skull. But as you can see, there's lots of gear here. And normally you'd look at a loot table like this and just think, well, that's a big pile of junk. But it kind of isn't, because this is based on the base game. So these kind of things like SRM ammo, LRM ammo, take the AC5 ammo because I won't have any. You know, these will be the kind of things that you actually need to kick off your campaign. So you certainly won't mind doing missions for big piles of what you would effectively consider to be junk in Rogue Tech. Okay, so we've got pilot fatigue, as you can see. It's a whole lot of the same mods. It's just I think people forget sometimes that Rogue Tech is actually a pack of a lot of different authors' mods, and those authors are very kind in allowing whichever mod pack creators wish to use them to create mod packs. In fact, the guy who makes CCC, Don Zappo, I believe makes a couple of mods that are in Rogue Tech. So it's just kind of interesting how that all works out. I'd love to get a list of, you know, all the authors that are involved in all of these mods that fit into these mod packs, because it would be nice to properly credit them all. But that's very difficult to sort of mine that data and get it in one easy place. Okay, so our first trip to the mech lab to actually do something. Just quick repairs on the Vindicator, nothing exciting.
Job's done, Commander.
Okay, so we have a few days to fiddle around. And as you can see, it is just much like the base game. So you're looking at very standard looking loadout screen for the base game. Now the AC2 has actually been buffed a little bit. It now does 30 damage instead of 25. So it's actually not a bad weapon. Still very heavy for what it does, but it's not awful. And you'll see here that I haven't got much kit, really. So I'm you're quite limited early on in what you can do to redesign your mechs. But then again, you would have been in the base game as well, so nothing really changes there. Now, often the temptation here is to take one of these out and put something else in. Usually you take out these, you upgrade some of the lasers to large lasers, you fit a load of heat sinks, and you get a bit more heat neutral and a bit more firepower. I don't actually have 2 large lasers lying around. And large lasers actually weigh 5 tons. So they're not much lighter than AC2s, which now do 30 damage. So it's the trade-off is not as great as it previously was. One interesting thing I wanted to show you guys is this is a throwback from the tabletop, I believe. If you put more armor on the front, you'll notice that the amount that you can put in the rear goes down, see? So if I put all the armor in the front, I can have no armor in the rear. So that's just a very interesting little change there. You really have to think about your armor loadout, because you're going to trade front for back and back for front. But with the enhanced AI mod, of course, the AI is going to go for your rear. And unlike in Rogue Tech, you can't rely on 8 evasion tokens to get away with it. They will hit you. Especially later on when the pilots get better. Enemy volleys are going to be mostly unavoidable. So there is a lot to think about in terms of your defensive strategy. Anyway, that's enough blah 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 from me. I can't believe we didn't get any battle mechs in the first mission. That was pretty weak. I suppose I could have refitted the RB and taken the AC-20 out and put the AC-5 in and jiggled around the loadout a little bit, but you know, whatever. I only just thought of that now. Oops. My bad. Okay, we're just loading here. Preparing for combat.
Command interface initiated.
So lovely! So serene.
Okay.
Confirmed.
Coordinates received.
Get our positioning right.
Move order received.
Enemy detected.
Okay, this base can be quite easy or a complete pain in the ass to deal with. It's a bit of weird lag here. What's the... Okay. Not sure what the weird lagging is about. Something to do with this map, I'm sure.
Engaging multiple targets.
Okay, we stripped an evasion token off him.
No damage detected.
You don't always strip evasion, I've noticed. A fire starter would be a fine addition to my crew. Definitely a weird lag on this map.
Awaiting orders. Yes, Commander. Firing!
Alright, good clean
One
kill.
less turret.
One less enemy to deal with.
Receiving you.
How's it going? On my way.
If I only had enough resolve, I could push this guy down the turn order.
Yep.
Can I jump? No. I guess I just
On
need
the
to
move.
sprint, otherwise I'm never going to get in there. I'm not sure what's going on with the weird lagging. I presume that there's some error or something. There's a vehicle that seems to be stuck in the building, so maybe it's that. But these are more likely to be vanilla problems than any actual problem with the mod.
Good to go.
Let's go here.
Position confirmed.
Keep our angling good. Oh, nice.
Score. Critical hit.
That was a good, solid hit there. Where'd he go? Oh, okay, he ran away.
Ready for orders.
That's fine with us. That gives us some time to deal with some other threats. Let's see if these vehicles come a bit closer. My Irby does not actually have a shot. Okay, that vehicle's not actually stuck.
I'm
Oof.
taking internal damage.
That hurt. Okay, a light shredder turret.
Engaging multiple targets.
Shouldn't be able to hit me from there. But you never know. Oh, nice! Got the turret.
Enemy unit destroyed.
It's a pretty nice kill. Alright, the striker is actually increasing its
Commander.
distance.
I'm wounded. Weapon system down.
Okay, got the ammo.
Yeah?
Not a big deal because there's no travel through damage for
No shooting, just running. Got it.
for LRM explosions or SRM explosions or machine gun explosions. There's no travel through,
How might
much
I
like the
help?
base game.
Be there in a jiff.
Let's get this turret finished.
Certainly. That turret is gone.
And so I'm going to need some replacement equipment for my commando. And that's why just farming the basic equipment is going to be very useful.
Good to go.
Because, you know, I've been stripped down to 1 evasion here, so I was not about to dodge all the fury coming my way. With only a large laser left, we're actually sort of relegated into becoming a sniper. Not even a very good sniper.
Yes.
But that's fine.
Failed to connect.
If we can capture the fire starter, it'll all be worth it.
What do you need?
35% chance to hit, that ain't good. What is he shooting at me with? AC-5, okay.
You have orders?
None of these shots are great.
One for the scrap heap.
I still don't know what's causing the weird lag on this map. Seems to be something about this area. Look, if I scroll away from this area, look, the game runs fine. Obviously, like some sort of broken texture.
Engaging target.
Just trying to strip away some evasion here
No damage detected.
Good to go.
to make life a little bit easier
Confirm.
for my Irby. Every one of those tokens is another 10% chance to hit.
Locked on target.
Missed.
Oh, crap.
But if I go first next turn, I can have another bash. Just a shame I don't have quite enough resolve to use a an aimed shot. Although it is going up by 5 every turn, so... He will definitely get his turn next, so I'm going to have to go now.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
Ah, we missed again. AC-20 is all well and good if it hits, but it very rarely hits. It's highly inconsistent.
That was a critical hit.
You see, this is the enhanced AI mod at work here. He's gone straight for a jump into the rear arc.
Move order received. Roger.
But it's like the base game, so punches are pretty accurate.
Yes, Commander.
See if we can knock this guy down. Nice. Try and capture him.
Reporting. Critical hit.
All I gotta do is destroy the other side and knock him down. So you can see here that with the even though I'm next to him, I can actually choose the position to attack him from, thanks to the enhanced melee mod.
Engaging physical attack.
Okay, he's panicking. Gonna see if I can
There's a hole
shoot
in
his
my
leg
armor.
off, or at least knock him over next turn.
Aye, aye.
I do have a precise shot, so let's see if we can make the magic happen. Get the leg. Oh, damn.
Tango down.
I did not get the leg.
Ready.
Oh well.
Move into position.
These things happen.
Roger that.
Kill confirmed, Commander.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Awaiting
Probably
orders.
should have just meleeed him.
Coordinates confirmed. Locking on target.
Enemy structure.
Wow, PPC missed the building. It always bemuses me that you don't get a bonus chance to hit against buildings. I mean, they're not going anywhere.
Engaging target.
Commander.
Nothing I'm really doing there.
Waiting for orders. On it. Taking the shot.
We take the turrets out just for the additional salvage opportunities,
Reporting.
since we can actually do with the basic gear.
Move.
Oh, some extra mechs, okay.
Target acquired and locked in.
Never mind then.
Destroyed.
Looks like we got a little something extra to worry about. And, of course, to salvage.
Engaging target.
Good shot, Commander. Enemy structure down.
Yes, Commander.
Yes. Run.
Copy that.
As much as an Irby can actually run.
Orders.
Looks like the enemy is just constantly reserving, which is fine.
Got it.
Just gives me a little time to take this turret out.
Locking on.
Once again, It's not an exciting turret. Okay, that's probably a commando. There aren't many mechs that have only got a large laser at that range.
Engaging target. Target destroyed.
Okay, and it's a commando.
Awaiting orders.
That is not a surprise.
Location acknowledged.
And we are dealing with 2 of them. Except that this one is really nasty. Tabletop variant.
I understand.
When he gets a little bit closer, we'll try and wipe him out.
Standing by. On my way.
Yes, Commander.
Still, if they're going to keep their distance like that, then that's fine.
Acknowledged.
I too can certainly keep my distance and just shoot at them. This is like a mini disco back. Pretty ridiculous, actually.
I'm showing minor damage.
Is he close enough? He's not really close enough for me to obtain optimal medium laser range.
All weapons committed.
Okay, I wasn't expecting to miss every shot. Jesus. Then again, I guess neither was he.
Yes, Commander.
Oh, I can hit him? I don't actually want to hit him. Oh, maybe I do. I can't actually seem to get a good shot otherwise.
As you wish. Engaging.
Oh, that hurt. You have to know that hurt. Oh, he gets to go first. Damn.
I'm getting my ass kicked.
Waiting for orders.
60. 65.
Moving out.
Get the leg, I guess, and pray.
Firing. All weapons.
Did I hit him? No, I definitely didn't hit him. If I'd have hit him, there would have been nothing left of part of him.
I'm taking internal damage.
Commander? Roger that.
Alright, let's try and finish these guys off. I can't actually risk playing badly to try and capture them.
No joy.
Need to get some real damage done and fast. This ought to do it. Oof!
Enemy mech destroyed.
Reporting.
Turns out SRM explosions are bad for you. This side, yeah. Hopefully rip off the other arm, and with it all of his weapons. Oh, we missed! Worst possible result. I may really pay the price for that. Because he'll probably get to go first. And he will. Oh, he just punched me back. That's okay.
I'm not gonna have a mech left if I keep taking hits like
Ooh,
that.
that's not okay.
I'm gonna need a medic. I'm losing weapon systems.
Yeah?
When your 75% chance to hit doesn't work out.
Location confirmed. Engaging.
Come on. The very least that this guy can do now is provide me with some nice salvage.
Coordinates received.
We hit the CT there. Not exactly what I was going for. 73. Come on.
Locked on.
Nice.
Physical attack.
And he's ejected. Excellent.
One less target.
It's very difficult to avoid damage in this mod.
Engaging target.
What do you need?
Alright, nothing left to do here but to shoot at buildings
Engaging target.
and miss them. I swear the AC-20, and I know this is probably cognitive bias, but I swear that the AC-20 really likes to miss way more often than its hit chance would indicate.
Roger that.
Because I never have any luck with it as a weapon.
Yes, Commander.
And I find that all the 50
Confirmed.
to 85% shots under the sun doesn't make it
Target is
consistent.
confirmed. Target destroyed.
Alright. Might as well just stand still.
Engaging target.
Yes, Commander.
They're inspired by destroying buildings. They weren't inspired by the battle, but they are inspired by like wiping out the
Target
buildings.
confirmed.
Yes, Commander. Move into position.
Alright, last shot.
Roger that.
And it hit.
Destroyed. AC-20 ammo depleted.
Engaging target.
Last building. You'd think that they would surrender or something. Or that the mission would just end and it would just say, we'll clean up the buildings and we'll evac you now that Op 4 is dead.
Target acquired and locked in.
Commander.
Just skip your
Venting
turn.
heat.
On my way. Copy.
Okay.
Engaging target.
And we're done. That was a little bit more painful than it needed to be.
Destroyed.
Yes, Commander.
Oh, we're not done. Never mind.
Firing.
My bad. One more to go.
Engaging target.
Doesn't help that they keep on missing. It's like, seriously guys, come on.
Have no doubt it will be done. Target acquired and locked in.
Good to go. Firing.
Finally we're done. Least favorite part about these missions.
Leopard inbound, Commander. I'll meet you at the LZ.
Well, that was painful. However, this, you know, like the base game, it is painful for a bit until you get good pilots. Okay, so we lost 10 grand. We lost a PPC. But we did pick up quite a lot of commando parts. Alright, we pretty much got all the mech bits, so that's good. I have really started with the bottom of the barrel battle mechs. I think in my charity playthrough I started with a Phoenix Hawk and a Blackjack, which is a way better set of mechs to play with. Okay, this is quite the weird loadout. Why bother with an SRM2 when you could have 2 medium lasers and actually fit a heatsink? I realise that one heatsink is not exactly great, but you're spending 2 tons on that. You'll get to sustain your large laser and your medium laser for as long as you want, and use the extra one in a pinch. Sure all the repairs are done. 8 days to make the fixes.
Logged and noted. Shouldn't be too hard.
Like the base game, jump jets are very good. However, of course early on you really could do with extra firepower. Look at the armor loadout here. It's so soft. I'd rather fall down to just 2 jump jets just to unstick myself if I need to. This armor loadout needs to change. It's way too soft. Alright, so we had a PPC, now we don't. I'm actually running a bit short on lasers. So we'll go for a little bit of an energy build. I've only got 3 heat sinks left. See what I mean by needing spares. I would very much like another heatsink, but I do not have another heatsink. And I don't have any spare medium lasers either. I don't really want to go to the shop and buy them, because I'm trying to conserve my money. So I guess the right move is to just toughen this up. Just toughen up the rear a little bit as well. 26 days,
Right.
Jesus.
I'll get it in the schedule.
That's not going to be ready in time for the next mission. I think this mod is very much relying on you to have captured a few mechs before you start taking real damage. So just keep in mind, this is vanilla plus plus, but this is not the vanilla campaign. At least this might be part of the changes that the hard pack makes. But we have been incredibly unlucky with our lineup, to be fair. Okay, the old war tech is going on. I've been running full salvage to just try and get kick-started, but I might have to actually do some work for sea bills, just to pay the bills. That said, I mean, you can't just go to the store and sell things. Partial mech, mech parts can actually be directly sold in the store, which is a nice little change. So, as you can see here, we have actually captured quite a bit of money in parts here. So if we really needed to, we could sell those. Likewise, LRM-15s and 10s fetch pretty decent money. They make for good early sales because there are very few light mechs with more than one missile hard point. So you can't really take advantage of them. Okay, so the only thing left is War Criminal, which is an assassinate. Not really fond of trying to do an assassinate with the mech lineup that I've got, but I don't really feel like I have much of a choice, so that's what we'll be doing next time. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you guys next time in the CCC campaign.